This is an update on the Skyline as I was able to do a track day, a final track day for the year to pinpoint any problems with the car that I couldn't identify away from the track. You know, braking hard, full throttle, how does the car behave? And to make the situation worse or better depending on how you look at it, and I was spoiled at Knock Hill, the racetrack. I was able to ride in somebody's set up car. Nice. But it was definitely a track day machine with setup suspension, setup brakes, and the throttle. And actually, that's the one thing I can say positive about the Skyline is that this drivetrain, running gear, the engine, the transmission, the parts stolen from a GTR, the rare Nismo LSD. So when I was giving feedback, well, more getting feedback from the race shop, one thing they told me is that this engine doesn't need to produce as much horsepower to be as fast as other cars because of the transmission's ability to stay on boost with such quick shifts. I will tell you this car is fast. Now, I don't know how much horsepower this is producing because they didn't build this tune to put big horsepower down yet. They just wanted me to survive long enough so that I can come back and keep upgrading the car. But I tell you what, those Porsches and we were neck and neck on the straights. Well, I do have a slight speed advantage, but I lose all my momentum, all my timing once I get to the corners because I just don't have the confidence, the brakes, the suspension. So the next purchase I need to do, tires. And before I do that, I need better wheels because these Too Fast, Too Furious remake wheels just aren't cutting it. I'm going to go ahead and get me some authentic OE GTR wheels. So I'm going to try to get some 275 wide tires on there, a good, decent rubber compound. I need my next set of wheels to be somewhat of a decent quality, something that isn't at around, which I suspect these wheels to be. Plus, these wheels have spacers. It's just not ideal. Also, with my current transmission, I removed the master cylinder for the clutch. But I'm going to hold on to it because maybe one day I might go back to an H pattern. But this sequential style 8 HP 70 gearbox, which is the same transmission that comes in BMWs, Maseratis, Chargers, Challengers. The only thing I need is I would love somebody that can tune this transmission so I can downshift faster. In fact, it downshifted a bit late and I lost my rear end. Also, while on track, I can see myself getting into some pretty hairy situations, much like motorcycles, but where I'm going to need to have a tow hook installed. And the C-West body kit, it's just too expensive. So this body kit right here, Knight Rider, it's a V-Spec style R34 GTR style body kit that I don't mind cutting into and installing a tow hook. Ooh, you know what? Who knows? Maybe I'll get myself a towing hitch, a tow hitch for the rear so that I can bring in a trailer. That'd be nice, towing in a trailer full of equipment so that I can drop the trailer off in the paddock, change the wheels over, and hit the track. Have me a generator or food and new wheels and tires. Or maybe do I just keep my current setup and tow the Skyline in on the back of my flatbed trailer? Either way, the upgrade for this, wheels and tires. I'm pretty sure I've pinpointed what specs I'm going to get next. Also need to research new suspension because I just don't know what's out there. Brakes, I want to get a bigger brake kit, but I'm gonna let these brakes fade first. I'm gonna wait till I get to a point these brakes are actually fading, and then by that point I'll be like, you know what, it's time to upgrade. But I do need more of a bite. Or more confidence to actually push the pedal down. The ABS quit working because I think I have a sensor issue. You'll see that in the dashboard. The light came on. Also, I have a high boost setting that I haven't even touched yet. I have to drive the car around in the low boost setting for the first few laps because overboost. I have an overboost issue that both the ECU company and the tuning garage, they know about. It goes away after the first warning. But instead of damaging my vehicle, I'm going to have to figure out a way to warm up the engine before I send it out on track. This car is interesting. It doesn't have the low-end torque of V8. That's, with my Mustang, I got me a V8. I'm used to these V8s. Put the foot down, power. But, with this single turbo, the single big turbo, it takes a while to spool, but once it's spooled up, it's just on the power. So that's something I'm going to need to figure out how to get into those turns while on the power in the right in the right gear. The gearbox does seem a bit slow to shift as compared to a sequential gearbox or even an H pattern. You just put it in gear and it gets in gear as fast as you can push the clutch and put the car in gear. So there is somewhat of a computer lag I can feel, especially when it comes to downshifting and trying to utilize the engine brake. So now, for the remainder of this video, I will leave you with what happens to me as I go out in public and people just mob me, paparazzi. It's just ridiculous. I think I'm Paul Walker. But I have enough notes to carry on through this winter. I'm just going to change one thing at a time, because if I change multiple things, you know how the story goes. So enjoy the rest of this video. Thank you for watching.
She's not impressed.
She's not impressed at all.
Neither is she.
I can imagine, mate. Beautiful GTR. No, GTS. GTT.
It's a 25 GT, built to the tip though.
Is it? Oh, very nice. So what do you have underneath that?
That's it?
Yeah, I do. I really do.
I got a guy behind me, but I feel bad. I'll pop it and I'll pay for the petrol.